welcome back to the Center Overwatch versus Newberry College match. Tonight, Center has been so welcomely promoted to a new division as they were wiping the floor with your old division, so they will be playing against Newberry tonight. So it may be a little bit more challenging than the last, but that is no problem for Center as they are ready, or they are as ready as ever to take on this new challenge and this new league. Today with me, I have Thomas Berkey as a guest co-host, and he's very excited to be here.
Thank you, Porter. I will say it's an honor, it's a pleasure to be in great company such as yourself and our wonderful tech here, Nick Bowman, and Coach, to support our team, to support boys and girls here on the esports team. I can't think of a higher honor. So let's get it done today.
Speaking of boys and girls, the Center Overwatch team is the first co-ed athletics team at Center College, so that's a pretty cool thing if you ask me.
No, Porter, I've never heard of that before here.
I know, that is something that typically doesn't happen, but Center Esports is paving the way for a new future here at Center and in athletics in general.
I can honestly say I'm happy to see it.
As we approach the beginning of this game, Center is very excited to be in this new league, and hopefully they will take it in good hands and be on their way. The first map of tonight is on the Nepal map, which Center is very familiar with. They've played a couple games on this map before, and they're playing Control, which they have their strategy down for unlock.
You know, I heard this was the same strategy that got the NECC to make our team change mid-season. How do you think now in the last couple seconds before we get going, this is going to affect their game today?
I think that Center employs similar strategies all throughout their matches. However, they do switch it up as their team switches up every so often, since they have a couple rotations and subs. So we will see how that affects the game tonight, but what really matters is if Newberry did try to research Center. So a lot of times other teams will research the team that they are playing in order to get a handle on the sort of strategies that they are employing.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Crow's Hanzo. I've heard he's a pretty steady man on the team, and I'm excited to see him bust some stuff out right here as we start getting going in Nepal.
Yes, Crow also has an amazing Mei, which he showed last week. Some amazing ice walls were thrown up. Looks like Center is currently in the objective point controlling it. However, it is not opened up yet. It'll open up in around 5 seconds.
You know, that Ryan, that's a wonderful hold right there, blocking with the team with the support coming in from this Mercy. Just a beautiful move.
Yes. It's currently contested, but it looks like Center and Newberry are pretty even currently. Center is in a better league than they were before.
We just opened up with a quick capture. Here we are with 1% on the board.
The other team actually has captured.
Oh.
We are not. We are red team for tonight. I think it might change later in the game. It's because Newberry is hosting tonight. So
unfortunate. That is unfortunate for us.
Center is, though, regrouping and going back to the control point in order to come back as a full team instead of being separate so that they are less easy to pick off.
Oh, perfect move.
Newberry is meeting them, though, before they can meet the control point, so Newberry is keeping that point under their control.
This is a tough push. We can already see the change in divisions is shaking them up slightly. Let's see if we can shake the rust off. You know, the bigger the harder they fall. That's what I heard.
Exactly. Center just had a full team wipe, so hopefully they can come back from that, and I believe they can. Center will most likely, as you said, shake this off and then continue on their way. And
you know, they bust up. They're about to regroup, come around the edge here. This whole team is making a shift as they make a run towards the point. The Rhine's up. We've got a support here from. Is that who's running? Who? Yep.
Yes. It appears to be an almost full team wipe yet again.
Yet again.
However, it seems like Center is coming back with some gusto, and hopefully they will contest this point and move from there. The Rhine is up front. They are forming great defense.
As typical, that Ryan went down, lost the shield. This is going to be a tough one for the rest of the team.
Yes. Newberry has pushed even farther back from the point, so they're pushing towards Center's spawn point, which will make it very tough to...
And it looks like we're coming up on 96%. Unless they can get somebody on the point, it looks like they took this first point, Newberry.
Yes, Newberry has secured the first objective point, but Center will most likely come back and hopefully secure the next point and tie up.
Porter, I hope so as well. That looked pretty similar to Blaku's lead last game, which ended up getting him pushed up the division. He had a wonderful lead to hold the last week's match, which, it was tough for it here, but let's see if we can't break through on this next map.
Yes. I think that they will have a good chance of pushing through. Last week, we got to really see Center's full synergy in full force, and hopefully they can bring that back as well. I know that Center has switched out a couple of their guys for some other people, so hopefully that once they get the hang of tonight's match, they will come back with all of their energy. The control point will unlock in almost 10 seconds, and we now see the teams both going head-to-head as...
I see the good play off the point here on this map before the point opens. It looks like Center's moved around to be ready to take that point.
Yes, we have a great shield up to block some of the...
That's an excellent Sigma. You can see
Yes.
Crow there with his Hanzo, putting down the support from the back as necessary.
We have a couple of the team going down. However, the others are coming back and ready to reapproach. Newberry has taken the point, but looks like Center is regrouping. Crow has just respawned, so it looks like they are all headed back. Vector is also waiting on the side in order to head back from a different point in order to maybe pick off a couple of the other team's players.
Here's Orisa coming in. Let's see if we can get some support. Laying down some fire. Doomfist is about to do something. Let's see what Vector can pull off here. Understandably so, we've moved around, making a move for the point. Look at this Crow. Incredible. Just incredible.
2 people on Newberry have gone down, now 3. It looks like Center is now approaching the
All to the Hanzo.
point.
He is on the point himself, goes down. Let's take a movement. That's a team move.
And there we go.
Yep, excellent, excellent push.
Center is now pushing back in order to prevent Newberry from approaching the point. This is something that Center employs in any of their games and Newberry employed in the earlier round. So it looks like Center has gotten their mojo back and is maybe pushing Newberry a little more than Newberry thought that they'd get pushed back.
Here we see Crow with his Hanzo has earned his ultimate. He's waiting to use it for the right second. In the meantime, he is continuing to pull him down. Oh my gosh.
We can really see Center working together seamlessly now at this point.
It looks like that first match completely different.
Yes.
They got used to this the methodology of Newberry, and they have taken their number.
Center is working together as well as they normally have before and picking off other players or slowly pushing them back. This is the Center I know and love, and the Kerns are putting all of their energy towards winning this map today.
Jellyman's Moira's on fire, going nuts right here in the Death Chamber.
Chunky Ghost on Sigma is also pushing back to his best of his ability and has eliminated one of the
2 now.
opposing teams. 2, yes. This is the Center that has been... This is the Center that deserved to get promoted from the league that
Right
they were
now,
under,
we can
or the
see
division.
we can see the dominant Center.
Yes.
This is the dominant Colonel team we know.
These are the Colonels that you always tune into weekly to watch, and they are giving us a great game.
With this view now, we can see the back of Newberry as they're slowly getting picked apart. We've got to push around the edge, a quick team move, a really quick team move. We can see the Weston change here with the hopes of landing a solid point. Oh,
Looks like it is being contested, though.
with the slightly faster team they put together with a couple of the changes they made, they are moving very, very quickly.
Yes. They are now pushing back as well, but Center is at 99% for the objective point, so if they can recapture that, they will automatically win. So we'll see if Center can push all of that energy into taking that objective point back.
Looks like this Orisa here with Gav doing what he typically does, about to put down his support beacon.
It looks like Center is putting all their energy into it.
Excellent push here, taking out their Weston.
Galv just eliminated one and will hopefully be going after another. We got J double with FAP.
Also with an ultimate, about to put down for the damage boost.
Assisting Center right now as well. All Center needs to do is retake that objective point, and they will have secured the map. Hopefully, Center can eliminate some of the other opposing team and secure that point. We have Crow going absolutely monster on Hanzo per the usual.
That's the Crow we were expecting to see today.
Yes.
I know he was solid, but he's really taken his leadership role in the team to the next level.
And we are in overtime. Currently, it is contested in overtime.
99-99, 2 on the point each.
Center is very evenly matched currently.
Vector's Doom is unbelievable at the moment. Oh, holding out. Let's see. Can we hold the overtime? Can we hold it?
I think so. It looks like both teams are pretty much in sync for players being alive on the point.
Crow here has switched up for a faster player, and
we have lost this
Newberry.
map as well. We held a very good one against Newberry, but this is to be expected when moving into a new league. It's going to be a bit different than what they were used to, but Center is taking it in stride and giving Newberry the works. They are not making this easy on them.
Map 1, we have seen a Newberry victory, up 2-0.
Yes.
But that's all right. We were expecting to see it. We were not expecting to wipe the streets with them. That's absolutely true.
We did have Galvanijo blocking a large number of damage during the game, so snaps to that.
That is incredible. Let's give some snaps out there to all you spectators today.
Up next, we have Numbani, and Center will be playing on a hybrid format, so they will have to take the objective point and then escort the
payload.
Yes, they will escort the payload, and we'll see if Center can do well on both the attack and the defense for this map format.
You know, Port, I'm interested to see how the map change-up might affect Newberry's methodology here in the first round. They were quick to get on the point and then hold Center back. I wonder how things will turn out here as one of these teams will have to move the payload inevitably.
Oh, of course. Every game format changes up the game ever so slightly. So you see people playing well in a control format, but once they are on the defense or offense for a hybrid format, it makes the game a lot harder. So we will see. We have a couple people changing in for this game as well. We have Agni Kai coming in on support for Center, and then I don't know who's James, but we have him coming in on DPS as McCree. So it's very exciting. We will see how these guys do on this game as well.
I'm incredibly interested to see how McCree will change up the game set here. We didn't have much of a player such as McCree in the last game. We had some heavy hitters and a lot of damage being dealt out, as well as a lot of damage being held by our Sigma and our Orisa. I'm interested to see what's going to happen next.
Me as well. We will see in a quick second. I believe Center will be on the attack first, and we will see how they handle that. It will be quite exciting. And I believe Center is also very excited to play as well.
You know, Porter, you've done quite a few more of these than I have. What is your professional opinion here? If you were from the last hybrid match you watched, what is your expectations?
The last hybrid match, Center pretty much dominated their old league and the team that they played against. It was super fun to watch, seeing Center work together as a super well-oiled machine. I hope that they can bring that energy into this next match and continue that. Hopefully they're not a little shaken up by losing the first two maps, but if they can bring the well-oiled machine that they were from last game into this, Center has a very good chance of holding the payload and continuing on as we go into this next match.
I am excited. So in that last match, we had 4 of the elite cards being given to Newberry, or 3 of the 4 cards being given to Newberry. That's typical to see from a team that wins, but still, I'm understandably so. Center College could do very, very well as we go to push in this match.
So yes, Center is on the attack first. So Newberry is getting ready with the defense as we currently are seeing, and Center will be out in less than 5 seconds.
On this map, we can typically see a hard breakthrough before we can get to the payload. It'll be a tough, especially with Newberry's holding ability, so I'm interested to see if they can break this quickly and get to the payload and get that moving. That's really going to decide how the game flow is going to be, is really in the first about minute and a half of this game.
If Center can take that objective point very soon into the game, then moving that payload forward will be a lot easier for them. But if Newberry can prevent them from getting to that objective point, as you said, it will be a lot harder to keep the game progressing.
Just from what I just saw, Newberry was expecting to push right up the center, but Center has come around the left-hand stairwell. They are both on even playing fields, with both teams playing the upper catwalks over the payload point.
Yes, Newberry is doing a very good defense. Center is attacking very well. They're waiting for a couple of their other teammates to come back, but looks like Center might have a good chance at taking this objective point very soon.
Who's James is holding back here with Sigma, is regrouping. Here's Orisa on his shields. They're about to come back around, pushing back up the stairwell. Hopefully this will be a more successful round.
I believe so as well. Center's putting all of their energy into this as it stands right now, and they are at a healing point as well, so therefore they can attack and then come back and heal a little bit.
J Doubles Bapt has his ultimate. Let's see where he chooses to drop his damage shield, or his damage screen.
It looks like Center is doing a pretty good job at keeping Newberry at bay a little bit, and
our support, I give it up for the support right here. They just pushed through that. They made it happen. That is for certain.
Support is crucial for a good team flow, as the attack and the defense will constantly need that healing ability, and support needs to do that almost seamlessly. If Center can just get down to the payload and capture it, things will be on their way. It looks like a couple Center players are moving down, though, which means the battle is changing from the high ground to the low ground as we are speaking.
Can occasionally cause a killing chamber down here on top of the payload point. Luckily, we have Crow, who just was eliminated, but was holding down from that upper catwalk.
Currently, the point is being contested. It looks like there is a couple more Newberry players than Center, but that is not going to be a problem for Center, as they will come back very soon.
We are regrouping here at the rally point, about to make another push. It looks like we have about almost a minute left to see if we can't capture the payload. As
Thomas said, we are all going back to the objective point within the same way that Center has gone before, so getting on that high ground and then hopefully moving down to the low ground once there's a clear opening.
Center is a very technical team in the way they play. I believe they stick to the meta pretty understandably so, coming in with a team strategy that works for them. I don't think they're going to try to mix things up too much from what they understand.
I think that might be why Newberry is a little challenging today, as Newberry is attacking, I guess, the way that Center attacks, and then that might be throwing Center a little bit off, as they have stuck to these strategies for their last couple games, and they've worked very well, but this new league is throwing new problems their way, and they will have to come up with new ways in order to take on these problems as they approach during the game, and hopefully learn from them as well.
Porter, we've moved to overtime here. We've got several of our teammates making pushes. This is maybe the final push we're going to see. They've got a great Torb putting out lots of damage, we can see, with having done 2 ultimates already this game. Our McCree just eliminated. eliminated.
Yes.
And it looks like overtime for this round has run out.
Yes. So that means that Newberry has successfully defended against Center and prevented Center from capturing that payload or scoring any points this round. Up next, the roles will be reversed and sides will be switched, and Center will be defending with Newberry attacking, so it'll be a very different dynamic, and we'll be able to see if Center keeps them from capturing that objective point.
You know, Porter, I am interested to see what strategy Newberry takes. I know we saw the Center College push up the stairwell. Not many people are going to push directly up the middle. That's just too easy of a defense. Something you often see just on open online play. But here we have some dedicated teams with dedicated strategies. I'm excited to see how Newberry handles this changeup.
I think that Newberry might push down the middle just since they think that they might have the upper hand, but we also might see them take things a little more hesitantly. I know Center will take both the high ground and the low ground most probably as they get ready for the team to come through, and they will have some tanks, and I guess there is also a healer over there to support the team, but it looks like they are at very tactical points as this match is about to begin.
Now, Porter, if I'm not mistaken, Center College does need to get a stop right here to continue on with the match today, correct?
Yes. Center, if Center can prevent them from doing anything or capturing any points, they'll move on to, I believe, another round for this map. But if Newberry does win this, they will secure their win, and they will still play a third map. However, Newberry will have that win under their belt, no matter how the third map turns out. So if Center can push them at bay, then the third map will be very heavily contested.
It appears to me that Newberry's diva is just a monster, both in the last match and now, moving quickly. Oof. That was a quick push up the middle. They had a spread out attack, but they pulled our team apart at the seams. I'm sorry, Center College. Let's see the play of the game is.
For those of you who are not gamers in a sense, what just happened is Newberry captured the objective point, and since they scored more points than Center did in the first round, the game immediately ended. So it was not a trick of the eye. We have Galv with another card up there.
Yet again, that's 2 cards in 2 rounds with damage blocked. That is called role-playing if I've ever seen it. Stepping up, stepping into the role they're supposed to play, and just doing it well. Excellent job there.
Galv has been the only Center player to have a card up there as well, and 2 at that, so that is very impressive. Up next, we have the last map, and I believe that we will have Blakeu swapping in for Chonky Ghost, and we will see how Blakeu coming in for the first time in today's game will switch things up. We also will have the third match, or the third map. However, Newberry has already secured a win for tonight, so this map will just be in order to see how well the teams play.
You know, I do appreciate them still getting to play the last round. If nothing else, what I'm hoping for is Center College can learn a little bit more about this new division. Looks like it's been a hard evening for our esports team lining up here against Newberry, but understandably so. They weren't expected to be easy. In fact, the NECC, I can't believe they really moved them in the middle of a season. I mean, can you believe that? It'd be like our football team trying to play Alabama out of nowhere. Like, what is up with that?
Moving from D3 to D2, or maybe even D1.
Even D1, maybe a lower level D1. But for those of you who follow, who are new to esports, that might be a little bit of an analogy for you. I've never heard anything being moved in the middle of the season. This is new to me, and incredibly so. I give our center colonels even that much more applause.
And I know that the colonels will be taking this in stride, but they've been putting up a great game in these past 2 maps, being in a new division. because it's tough to switch up halfway through, as Thomas said. They've been undefeated so far up to this point. So moving into a new division where other schools have a more well put together esports program, they have more equipment, it's a bit harder to compete against something like that. So the fact that Center can and still is very impressive on their part. Right now we have just a normal escort map, so instead of having to capture the payload at the very beginning, they will just follow the payload as it moves from the start, and Center will try to defend against that since they are on defense first.
Here we can see Center College blue this round on defense. They're taking the high ground, which is typical for this match as well. They're pulling back a little bit, which I'm guessing to allow Newberry to start to push that payload before, instead of keeping them pinned inside their starting point.
And the payload is about to...
That was an excellent shield, or a portal, by their Symmetra. Wow. They just pushed really quickly right all together. That was incredible.
Newberry has a cohesive group that is working very well together. It seems like they've been playing for years, which is very hard to break for Center, but they are pushing back.
Porter, I'm looking here after a little bit of research. Our analysts have brought to me a note. All six of these starting Newberry players have been playing this game together since its release. That is almost 8 years of total play time together. Can you believe that? They ended up going to Newberry together just to play esports.
That is absolutely crazy to hear. Thank you to our analysts for bringing that to us. Hearing that it explains why Newberry is giving Center the push, but Center has been playing together and is a new program, but they can get through it. They can push back to against these lifelong friends that have worked together for years.
Literally lifelong friends. Incredible. That's a story in and of itself.
That is. And Center appears to be pushing back. The payload is not moving forward as quick as I think Newberry would think.
That was an excellent stop on Symmetra's portal. Looks like Crow on the Hanzo is pushing back. There we go. It's tough, but he has an ultimate. He's going to be coming back with a Fury.
It's being contested, so it's moving slowly now forward. But lots of contested happening around here.
Here's James dropping his ultimate down as Torb. That was an incredible push with our Rhine, losing out to the other team's Rhine here at the last second. That was an unfortunate loss as well. Crow stepping back up.
And it looks like that was a full team wipe for Newberry on Center, so Center will need to regroup and then go back to the payload. However, the payload is moving closer and closer to Center's respawn, so it is getting faster and faster for them to approach the payload and prevent it from moving forward.
As we talked about Blakeu earlier, he has stepped up into this match to see how he can play. An excellent diva, just has achieved called back that mech, is back on going toe-to-toe on defense here.
Center is giving them the works, and the payload is no longer moving forward, which is great for Center. We'll see if they can hold this spot for a little longer.
If we can get Galv and Crow back in the match, we'll have a full team with a strong defense here. They are pushing. They're about to get to the next checkpoint. Hopefully Center can get a full stop before that time.
If not, Center still has a third of the map to prevent them from moving forward, and it looks like Center is going to be regrouping and then hopefully preventing them from reaching that final checkpoint.
Now it looks like Newberry has 4 now of their teammates above 50% on their ultimates loading. Center College has now, having just used 1 ultimate, has 2 ultimates to go. Hopefully this will make it possible for an easier stop in the last third of the match, possibly getting a team wipe.
They've eliminated 2 of this Newberry team at this point, and another one was on the way. However, Center did take a loss of 2. Yes, so they are on equal for damages and losses right now. But hopefully Center can prevent them from reaching this final checkpoint, and it looks like Center is working in overdrive to prevent so. The Tracer on the other team is zooming around, and now the Rhine is here. However, Sinner is giving it their all.
There's been constant push on this payload by Newberry the entire round. That's just hard to deal with. Once you get ahead of steam, as Newton said, an object in motion tends to stay in motion, and Newberry has kept it in motion this entire match.
The payload is now moving back. It looks like Sinner has stopped that object and is now now Sinner is the object in motion moving back against Newberry. However, it will be difficult as Newberry does not have much to go and will be pushing harder than ever in order to drive that payload home.
And here, Sinner will have a full 3 minutes they need to defend with just a touch left to go on the payload. It'll be a difficult, next to impossible defense, but we are holding out hope for our boys. And
yes, Sinner is on a 5-player kill streak for at least Galv, and they are pushing back very well. It looks like they have some wind under their feet and are pushing Newberry back. It seems that Newberry is pretty surprised that this is happening, which will be some good morale for Sinner as
it looks like we have 3 ultimates. Baps has just dropped his damage boost right here at a key chokehold point on Newberry. It's hard to push up that little ramp there. For those of you who have never played Overwatch, it is a difficult place to push past.
Yes. Anything in Overwatch is harder than it appears, so snaps to the people on the team for playing so well tonight and any other night. And Sinner is getting elimination after elimination right now. They are not letting Newberry get around this corner. They are pushing them back with their whole entire body and mind, and they have already held them for an entire minute at this point.
And let me tell you, folks, this is a hard thing to do after playing 2 games already. We are in the 3rd match of the evening. It's exhausting. Their thumbs are tired. Their brains are tired. They're getting a little sweaty. It's hard to hold on, play with that mouse, but they are doing it. At the hardest time of the night, they are really stepping it up and playing together.
Keeping up morale and pushing back this hard is what makes Sinner the Colonels that we do know and that we love. It's the fact that they can experience the matches that happened earlier and continue to push back and try their best and not give up, even if it is the final map. And that is what we know Sinner for. That's what we know the Colonels for.
Honestly, Port, let's give a shout out to Nick Bowman working the camera today. He's done a wonderful job keeping us up to date on those are our players who are in the heat of the action. I don't know how he does it. He just knows where to go at the right time.
We wouldn't have a stream without Nick Bowman. He is the guy behind the scenes doing all of the tech stuff. Thomas and I are just the ones talking. So big shout out to Nick Bowman for putting this all together and letting you viewers at home see the lovely Sinner.
Now this is an exciting match. They are holding out like no other right here at the end. This is the time for the Colonels to roll. Let's stay on that point. Let's see. They have just held their own yet again. This is incredible. Really is an incredible movement by our Colonels holding out.
And they're moving forward to keep Newberry from
as I said, we have
towards
16 seconds to go.
Sinner has held this point for almost 3 minutes straight.
3 minutes straight. That's almost the entire length of the rest of the match.
They have 5 seconds left. Looks like Newberry's trying to push forward.
2, 1.
And they are in overtime.
A brief overtime. Let's see if the Colonels can push him out of it. There's Crow in the back. He's about to launch his ultimate. Hopefully it will hold them back a little longer. There it is. That's going to be big for the win. Excellent move. That's a team kill for Crow. Almost.
Ooh, almost. And there we go. Full team wipe.
What a Crow coming in at the last minute. What a move.
And you know that Newberry is going to think about this match and the fact that they were just a couple meters away for probably the rest of the week, if not the rest of their lives. That is the Colonels that we know and love. And I'm happy to say roll Kerns.
Roll Kerns, baby. That was an unbelievable defense at the end. I wonderfully played. They supported the weak parts and came to each other's aid when needed.
As Thomas said, that was an almost impossible feat that the Colonels were able to pull off. Working together as that well-oiled machine I mentioned earlier tonight is what I know and recognize Sinner as. So seeing that firsthand and that ability to keep that payload from reaching the final point, even though it was just meters away, is what makes watching these games so impressive.
Porter, the boys in the back just got to me, and they said the odds of taking a defense right there with that much time left, those were 71 to 1 odds. Absolutely unbelievable. If you had your money out, you'd be making a lot of money. 71 to 1 odds with a defense like that. Give a round of applause for the boys in the back as well. They
Absolutely
are
insane.
They are crunching numbers like no one I've ever met. I'm not a data analyst. I just say what they tell me to say, and honestly, they are the heroes, the unsung heroes of this type of play.
They are giving us our information and telling us what to say and when to say it is what we know and love.
Here we're stepping up to see Center College taking a chance at the push.
Center's on the attack, and the payload is moving forward ever so slightly, and it looks like Center has gotten some wind under their feet for this match, as I feel they are getting a lot of energy back from keeping Newberry from getting that payload to that final checkpoint. Looks like Center is pushing back with all they've got.
The adrenaline flowing off that defense, I can only imagine. I'm sitting here with a heart thumping, especially after Crow. He is just playing as well as anyone has played.
They had us all on the edge of our seats, and hopefully we will get there again as they push forward. Looks like Newberry is slightly agitated that they weren't able to get that last point, so they are pushing back a little hard as well, but Center eliminated 2 of their players just now, and it'll take a while for them to come back and regroup as their respawn is all the way on the other side of the map.
This is a great push on Center's. They've got them pulled off of the point while the point keeps moving. The payload is on the way. Newberry is separated, and they've got their players playing their weakest points. It's just incredible. Good job, Center. Great job.
They're picking off Newberry players one at one, eliminating them just in places that Newberry shouldn't be, and Center's taking advantage of that. Lots of things are happening right now as they approach the first objective point, or the first checkpoint, so we will see how things work out. Right now, if Center does die, they respawn pretty close, so they're able to regroup fairly fast, which is the advantage of being the attacking team earlier in the game.
I will say that did help Center's cause earlier in the game, or in the last game, being as close as they were to their defense point. But I will note, as the boys in the back just told me, they had minimal deaths. They had less than a 1 to 3 death ratio with Newberry, so they were holding them off.
They were. That is why Newberry was held off for so long, is that Newberry kept dying over and over again, whereas Center did not. They still held that ground. The healers were providing them support. They only had to use the close respawn point a couple times, but for the most part, they were able to hold that on their own without the help of the closer respawn.
I mean, a team average KD of 3 to 1, that's excellent. That is just unbelievable across 6 players.
Right now, Center is being contested, but they are very close to that first checkpoint, so hopefully they can push through and get that first checkpoint, giving them more time for the rest of the match. Because as it stands right now, they have around a minute until the match ends if they don't get to that first checkpoint.
Luckily, we are close.
They are very close. The payload is slowly moving back, though, as none of the Center players are over there. And it looks like Newberry is trying to prevent them from getting there, taking the high ground once again. But Center is meeting them there.
That was a great job with Crow taking out Winston's shield, allowing the rest of the team to bypass that chokehold and push the payload. We have 30 seconds. Let's see if they can't get it there. It's close.
Ooh, and they are only meters away.
Meters away, ladies and gentlemen. Meters away.
And they have us on the edge of our seats yet again.
Yet again, coming down with 15 seconds. Can they push it through the pay?
Looks like Newberry is giving it their all as well. However, Center has eliminated a couple of their players.
And Crow just launched an unbelievable ultimate here, helping cut down the distance.
And we are half a meter away. It looks like it's going to be an overtime.
It's going to be an overtime.
And there we go.
We got it.
2.5 more minutes on the clock. Getting that first checkpoint must be a very good boost for Sinner's morale, as now they have 2.5 more minutes to reach the second checkpoint, and they are pushing forward. We just see Sinner knocking down Newberry's ego ever so slightly throughout this whole game, and ever not so slightly in some big chunks. It's great to see. Great to see.
It is great to see. It will be crucial that Sinner keeps its players alive coming into where we are in neutral territory here, encroaching on the second half of the map. Sinner's support players are going to be absolutely crucial in providing health in these next 2 pushes.
And Sinner's support does great. We will now be seeing Sinner moving forward, I believe, but it looks like we are looking currently at the opposing team as Sinner approaches them. And as the payload moves ever so slightly backwards, Sinner is now regrouped and is now pushing forward against Newberry, as Newberry is all on that massive plane in the middle.
I can see Sinner here is moving a 4-1 split with their diva coming up the left and the rest of the team coming up the right, or a 5-1 split. I'm mistaken. This is a diversion tactic to put some of that pain on the diva to take the brunt of the force, while the rest of the team is able to lay down supporting fire.
I believe that Sinner has gotten the hang of this league, or this new division that they're in. They are, although the Sinner cannot win tonight, they are giving Newberry the works, it looks like. They are pushing back stronger than we've seen in the first 2 games and giving it literally their all. They are working so hard to push forward and get to this next checkpoint.
I bet Porter was a little bit of nerves in the first couple of games. I mean, new territory, mid-season change, a team they've never played before, a team they don't know a lot about, but it seems like they're getting to know a lot more about them.
And it was not a big heads up on this match, and this division change. It got changed midweek, and it is just after midweek, or earlier this week.
Yeah, less than 48 hours, I heard.
Yeah, so Sinner's taking this in stride, and they are handling things very, very well, better than I could personally, which is why you hear me over this match instead of playing in it.
I can tell you right now, you would not want to see me in this match, or maybe you would, but it would be a comical relief nonetheless.
If I was in this match, it would be a lot less cohesive on Sinner's part, and it would be a lot easier for Newberry to win. But it looks like Sinner has wiped half their team and is now at the second checkpoint.
They have just collected the second checkpoint in a minute and a little under a minute and a half, moving on to the last third of the map.
We might be able to see Sinner take this final checkpoint. However, this is where Sinner held Newberry so well just a couple minutes prior.
Here we are approaching one of the most difficult hills in the game, actually, across all maps to take. It's just a choke point, not many ways to get by, and of course you have the immediate low ground.
There's also that corner, which is so difficult to push as well, as low ground and a corner just makes the defenders have a huge advantage against you. It looks like Sinner is holding well, and the healers, or the support, are giving them the support they need.
Yeah, as we discussed earlier, we really were relying on the support to come through, and it looks like they have. Both J Double and Agni Kai are doing their jobs, are doing them, not just doing them, they're doing them exceptionally well.
And Sinner's moving back. They have a little under 20 seconds now in order to push this point forward, but it'll be tied 2-2 for this round, as Sinner and Newberry have both scored the same amount of points and gotten to the same point on this map.
That was a great move here by Who's James, taking down the other team's diva in a quick, concerted effort.
It's a question that most people have, is who is James?
I don't know.
We do not know. Who's James is the man, the myth, the legend, but hopefully one day someone does figure out who he is. We are now in overtime, but Sinner is still moving forward. They might be able to secure this point and bring the payload home. All they need to do is prevent Newberry from preventing them from reaching that point. But if we can hold in overtime, then that's all a guy can ask for.
That's all a guy can ask for. That and a little cheese bread.
Exactly. Sinner has eliminated half of Newberry yet again, almost Oh, it is a full
It is
team
a
wipe.
full team wipe. Pushing on. We are in overtime.
Center has secured,
Excellent.
and they win this match.
Excellent win, Center College.
Beating out Newberry in the overtime for this map. It looks like Center might enjoy this map a little more than the others.
You can say that again, Porter.
So for tonight, Center has secured the win on this last map, but overall Newberry has won. But seeing Center play on this last map has really given me hope that they can still tear up this new division that they are in.
All I can hope is that what this leads to is hopefully the last loss Center sees for a while. This last map has led to hopefully a little momentum going into their next game.
Yes, it will hopefully do well, and Center didn't get completely cleared tonight as they won this last map, so it'll give Center something to talk about for a little bit. And there we have it, the final scores for each map, and Center performed great tonight.
Truly, no team should go undefeated for too long, especially for a mid-season loss. I think Center College can accept that. It'll give them a little bit of areas to work on going forward and bring their team together just a little bit more.
Of course. And with that, we are done for the night. And if you are not currently following Center Esports on Twitch, I highly recommend you do. And we hope to see you back here sometime next Thursday if things go as planned, and tune in to see Center play yet again.
Yet again, Porter. Come out. Thank you for all who support. Spread the word. Bring your friends, your family, your grandmother. Get them into esports.
We'd love to hear about all the watch parties that y'all have. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you in the chat next week.
That's a wrap. Good night.